You don't know what happened?
No, what happened?
You know the Diddy trial, the verdict came in.
What happened?
Life.
No.
Yep.
You lying.
Nah, bro. They said that they convicted him on everything.
You lying.
Yes, bro.
You lying. Hold on, I gotta
5
Google
cases.
You be playing.
Yeah, I do be playing, but I'm
serious. You be playing.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
Okay, I'm playing now. All righty, man.
You are playing.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
Diddy, I told y'all we gonna beat them charges, but I'm on Woody ass.
And after nearly a 2-month trial with 34 witnesses and hours of salacious testimony, a jury of 8 men and 4 women finds Sean Diddy Combs not guilty of racketeering and trafficking, but guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
He got acquitted for the trafficking, all the big ones, the racketeering, not guilty. Mm-hmm. They only got him for like 2 counts, and that was for So literally, while we're talking right now, he could be walking out if the judge said, like, literally, we're updating.
We're literally
because he could be walking out right now while we're talking.
Okay, I was like, life, damn. Yeah, I know he ain't no Rico. He might get a Frico charge, but
The judge is currently deciding right now whether Combs will actually be released today. His defense arguing that since the music mogul was acquitted of the most serious crimes, he should be able to go home.
A little later,
Diddy has just been denied bail after he was found not guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering, but convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Diddy's lawyers had asked the judge to release him so he could await sentencing in his Miami mansion, claiming he needs to take care of his 85-year-old mother, Janice. But the judge denied the $1 million bond request, citing Diddy's, quote, years-long pattern of violence. A sentencing date has been set for October 3rd, but Diddy's team is already pushing to expedite it.
guilty.
Hey, man, hey, dude, the court of public opinion on this one. Hey, bro, you've never said Frico charge?
No.
You better look in that camera and claim it as yours today.
Yeah, he got the Frico charge.
Yeah. Hey, man, but yeah, the court of public opinion, the Rico didn't happen, but as you would say, the Frico is going to happen, bro.
Man. Times reporting here, caller from inside the courtroom. Sean Combs is smiling as he shook one of his lawyer's hands and turned again to look at his family. He put his hands together in prayer and mouthed, thank you at the jury. That's the right thing to say, Sean Combs. He pumped his right fist. Yep, this is exactly the right attitude for Sean Combs, who just got away with serious felonies, in my view. He's guilty as sin, in my view, and this jury just gave him a total pass.
Today has got to be up there with 9/11 as one of the worst days to be an American citizen. They actually freed Diddy. Well, they didn't completely free him, but he's gonna be out soon. He's not getting the life sentence that he deserves. Somehow, his lawyer got his trafficking charges dropped and his Rico charges dropped, which means that the maximum sentence he can serve is 27 months now. And I didn't even know Diddy had supporters, but after the verdict came out, people were squirting themselves with baby oil outside of the courthouse to celebrate. The only person besides the Diddler himself who has room to be happy about this verdict is this guy who won $200,000 off a Diddy parlay on Kalshi.
Yo, listen, y'all was dancing like it was a cookout. Keep the same energy. He is going to be in jail and MDC until he gets sentenced. And that is justice right there, for the justice that he didn't get found guilty on. Because he should have got found guilty on almost all of those charges, because he was responsible for a lot of stuff, and this is karma right here. So what? I ain't changed my spots neither, like a lot of the people I'm seeing out here. 1,000 women on my live right now, crying, shaking, struggling with their abusers. We say thank you to God that this man will not be getting out today.
Once they started, actually, you get both sides.
Yeah.
You could tell that he wasn't guilty on what they was trying to get him for.
Right.
Because it wasn't like a mob corporation. It wasn't like he was drug trafficking. He was just doing drugs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brother like getting high on pink. Go ahead, enjoy your life. You got the money. Hey, if he want to buy, I would have a chemist.
He got the money, right?
I would have my own Johnson's & Johnson's pharmaceutical company.
They should let them go, because the embarrassment, the waste of taxpayers' dollars, they wasted y'all money. And the American people said not guilty. So y'all be mad at the government because this was a waste. This was to ridicule this man. This was to embarrass this man in front of his children. The world, his children. I knew that man was not guilty. Diddy better get out and pop his
Well, your polite savages, I said all along that it was very unlikely with the evidence that they were presenting, that the evidence that kept coming out, that people were actually trafficked. Cassie was a willing participant. Jane Doe was a willing participant. And there is absolutely no RICO, because I ain't never seen a RICO with one man by himself. And there was no unindicted conspirators. The bottom line is this. The prosecution stepped in it knee deep this time. They went far to the right, far too over the deep end. Their zeal to bring this man down was something ungodly. And like everyone else, I seen that Cassie tape and I thought, man, this guy has to go. But like anyone with a brain, after seeing the evidence, after watching it play down, after understanding the games that was being played, I am absolutely understanding why the jury looked at all of this, rolled it up in a big ball of funk and threw it right at the prosecution. Because this was straight up garbage. Dumpster juice.
Now that y'all hear that Diddy has been found not guilty, watch how many of his so-called industry friends come out posting pictures with him, posting videos. Watch the commentary of many folks saying, I told y'all. Look, woo woo, they just was hating on Diddy. You see, they could come out all of that afterwards. But during your trials and tribulations, during the time when the whole world is against you, notice the people that get away from you. Notice the people that won't stand side by side with you. Like Martin Luther King said, it is not the voices of my enemies that I worry, because I expect them to say what they say about me. But it is the silence of the people that they call themselves my friends that won't say nothing in my defense, that won't come forward because they afraid that everything that's on me gonna get put on them. Them ain't really your friends. Watch all these rappers, watch all these people start posting pictures from them Diddy parties. Watch. But this so much is about the fakeness around the man.
All this case proved, Art, over these 28 days, over these 7 weeks, this case proved that Puffy has some very serious psychosexual issues. This case proved that he might be a nymphomaniac. This case proves that he may have some unaddressed childhood emotional issues that he's taken out on these women and these sex incidents, these freak-offs. It proves that he engages in risky behavior. It proves he got a lot of people that don't like him for whatever reason. It proves he got a lot of girlfriends that didn't feel like they got out of the case what they should have got out of the case. I don't see how. I don't see how he gets convicted on freak-off footage, freak-off details, and freak-off testimony. Now, I'm going to say this.
Y'all didn't give Puffy or Jay-Z the benefit of the doubt. Y'all didn't see nothing that these people produced. Man, they did this. All of a sudden, y'all got an escaped criminal. Y'all giving him the benefit of the doubt. He started doing the paper like this. Look, y'all is right here, but pulling it back. He didn't turn the camera around and let you read line for line. Come on, y'all.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk.
Just bury me in the ocean. My ancestors that jumped from the ship, they knew death was better than bondage.
Ladies and gentlemen of polite savages, well, I guess it's true what they say. More money, more problems. But the more money you have, the more problems mount, surface, and put you in a position where you got to spend a lot of money to get out of your problems. Diddy had that dream team working for him. And what's the result? Well, the trafficking and racketeering, not guilty.
Hey, yo, we love y'all. We love everybody watching. So happy. Pop's coming home. God bless. God bless the whole world.
What was going through your head when the verdict was read? Happy.
Guilty on 2 counts of the Mann Act. And we all know that the Mann Act was created for Black Jack Johnson for taking his white woman across state lines. But the question is this. Why is everybody so upset that Diddy's not going to jail for the rest of his life, even though if he goes to jail for 20 years, it actually will equal the rest of his life? The Mann Act is no joke. But one thing that we should be asking ourselves is how can the government be so incompetent that they charge them and overcharge them so much that they can't prove over half of their case to a jury of his peers? Well, the question is clear. They took a look at that Cassie tape and figured that somebody had to get him out of here.
Diddy innocent. Yeah, Diddy ain't took no. Diddy ain't got one victim said he done this to me. Not one. Other than Cassie saying I was in a relationship, he used to beat on me. Even Cassie went to the police. She went to a lawyer. The lawyer went to the courts and said, hey, we want some money. If you really done this, money. put him in jail. He's a monster. So she never went to the police. So when you look at the indictments of Diddy, it's only one victim on the case. That's Cassie. They have no other victims. Diddy just was a freaking who was having orgies, who recorded everybody who participated in the orgy. But he a silent and he ain't gonna tell. He gonna try to fight it. It's a lot of people, homie, who secretly go help him win because he won't say nothing. And the FBI didn't go seize those tapes to find him guilty. They went to seize those tapes to erase whoever they wanted to erase off those tapes.
Powerful people are compromised by sexual opportunity, are invited into situations, whether that's the infamous Diddy parties or the Epstein parties or Epstein Island, where they compromise themselves sexually and subsequently become amenable to blackmail.
Look at Diddy. He has videos of the parties. Now, but what I've heard from friends that are attorneys, friends of mine that have represented me before, agents and so on, is there's a bidding war going on right now. They're driving that price up because if you want your client and your famous actor to not be involved, or famous singer to not come out, here's the price. They're selling those videos. So if you're Tommy X, and Tommy X is a big, big movie star, and he was at some of the Diddy parties, he was in one of those bedrooms with 3 other men, and he's happily married to a woman, and blah. Tommy doesn't want that video to come out. The interesting thing about the Epstein and the theory about Epstein is we know he filmed people for sure on that island. He has a lot of movies, a lot of films of people that are, but what happens if iconic African Americans or iconic Japanese Americans or iconic Anglo Americans, former presidents, so what happens if they're in those videos?
Because he recorded everybody and everything. So if you go back through Diddy's history, there's not one celebrity, there's not one political figure from Donald Trump to the Prince of Wales to Harry and homie, all major figures have stood next to Diddy at a Diddy party, smiling, taking pictures with him, and he recorded everything. So our FBI didn't go get evidence against Diddy, went to go clean up evidence against other people. Because once they seize it and go in and go look at it, you don't know what's on it. He know what's on it. And just like in the movies, you think he ain't telling his lawyer, say, man, if they find me guilty, I got some more tapes over there with everything on it. Goddamn, you think he ain't saying this? So initially there was a black male attorney, a U.S. attorney who was on Diddy's case. He voluntarily came off of it. Yeah, Diddy gonna be found not guilty.
And we knew there was a problem when the jurors came back and said they were decided on all counts except one in less than 12 hours. They're in a hurry to get out of there. 4th of July weekend's coming. They have family coming in from out of town. Hey, they just figure, what the hell? We don't like this guy anyway. And this brings me to my next question. As always, I'm just gonna tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as I see it. It seems like Diddy was overcharged and he's a horrible person, a scumbag. Doo-doo water, but he is not a conspirator and a trafficker, especially when Cassie wanted hammer time by the big Punisher. Not guilty.
So when you hear the gay rumors about Diddy, you're not surprised?
I always tell people this. I've been telling people this. Don't forget the gangster. He got a lot of licious in him now. He gangster-licious. But don't forget the gangster part. Still a gangster now. Definition you want to describe a gangster as, whether it be a mob boss, a shot caller, whatever. Get it done, and he'll get it done. That's evidence that he'll get it done.
But it's absolutely time for some honesty here. We understand that Cassie was a willing participant. Diddy understood that. That's why when she came and hit him with that lawsuit because her and her husband had to move in with her husband's parents because Cassie didn't have it no more, Diddy absolutely ignored her. He was like, nah, you leave the kingdom, you can't have any more of my riches. But see, that videotape leak, and that leak led to that indictment, and that indictment led to these problems. See, the hubris of Diddy, when he had the money, he should have just paid the money, because when you have money, you pay money to have problems go away. But he thought he was bigger than the problems. And this is what happens when you're a giant amongst men and you've had it your way for so long. Yes, it's true, this man probably had a 25-year reign of terror, but that's not what got him caught up in the end. It was the hubris, my friend, the absolutely feeling that he couldn't be touched, that he was a savage, that he was an animal, that he was one of one, an absolute 1 in 10,000 special type of guy. And the federal government and all the people watching him who have decided that he's not in favor anymore decided to check him, sit him down, and put it right in place. Hell, the only person that really came out and supported him was Ye. And we all know what the world thinks of Ye. Ye is half crazy, but maybe Ye is crazy like a fox. But anyway, Ye and a few other folks had nice things to say about Diddy, but the most things people did was kept their mouth shut because them freak-off tapes had way too many gangsters, ballers, rich people, and politicians doing the nasty with something shoved far, far up there.
Hold on, what? Ye is at court with Diddy?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's gonna be the greatest day of trial. They just let the free in trial. Like I feel like a celebrity, because sometimes a celebrity showing up kind of makes the people like, okay, it's not a complete lynching. Like, at least this guy doesn't want it to happen. Let me ask y'all a question. How many times a day do you think Puff heard the word no? See out of the room, think about it. Just
zero.
Think about it. Think about it. So now, if I'm saying, man, I want 18 prostitutes, and everybody like, we're gonna make it happen. If you done went somewhere and flew somebody with you, and I don't know about you guys, but like, I know when I was flying women with me, and they would say something like, I'm gonna take off Tuesday and Wednesday, my question would be, how much money you gonna lose? Whatever they lost that day, I would pay them. I might be in trouble for trafficking. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I thought I was doing what a man's supposed to do, looking out for your woman, but then that's trafficking.
But the bottom line is that there's no coming back from this one. No. It doesn't make a difference if it's guilty or innocent. It doesn't make a difference right now what the verdict was or what the verdict is. It doesn't make one difference because Diddy's life is absolutely ruined because guess what? There was too many people who knew what was going on, when was going on, and why it was going on. But my question is this: what happened to those freak-off tapes? You notice how we conveniently haven't heard anything about that? How conveniently there's nobody, no celebrities, no nothing? I thought there was no party like a Diddy party.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
LeBron James has shrunk away. Ain't nobody even heard of his name connected with Diddy anymore. What about the politicians? Oprah, actors, actresses, male and female models, all were enjoying those Diddy parties. But it seems like regardless of what you think innocent or guilty, the levers were pulled and the people who were surrounding the situation absolutely kept that anonymity. I wonder why.
All right, boys, getting ready for a Diddy party.
All right, we made it, boys. Stay tuned for the after party.
And feeling like P. Diddy. Cause I'm out the door in this city. Before I leave, brush my teeth. Bottle jack. Cause when I leave for the night, I ain't coming back. I'm talking on toes, trying on all our clothes, our phones. Drop top and
I don't know what the that powder was, but it's making me feel freaky. And right now, Diddy told me to wait here in his bedroom. Wish me luck. I don't remember what the happened last night, but I woke up oiled up and my feels sore, and I think Diddy got me.
Thank you for watching the Tip Network. Follow us on all social media outlets and ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? Boom, we're out.
We found true happiness.